And I'd like to start also by telling you a little bit about my background. I was raised in a military family, and during childhood and school years, I lived on military bases in the United States and Hawaii and overseas. I'm a graduate of Tokyo American High School. After high school, I returned to the United States for college and majored in psychology. I was drafted into the Army toward the end of the Vietnam War and served as a psychology specialist in the Army Medical Corps, where I worked with the 3rd Infantry Division Mental Health Clinic and doing crisis intervention, psychological assessments, and drug and alcohol abuse counseling. After discharge from the Army, I returned to college and continued to study psychology. During this period, I worked in an adult chronic schizophrenia ward of a large state mental hospital. And later, I spent 1 year as a school psychologist. Work as a school psychologist led to a major career change. I became a teacher. I've served as a reading specialist initially and then taught from kindergarten through grade 6. I've also taught at the university level as a graduate teaching assistant and as an adjunct professor for the University of Maryland. In 1997, I had another career change. I received the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics Teaching, as well as the National Science Foundation grant to improve mathematics education in elementary schools. As a result, I became much more involved with teacher education and very reluctantly left classroom teaching and began to work in curriculum development, assessment, evaluation, and systems improvement. During the last 12 years before retirement, I was responsible for assessment, evaluation, and system improvement in 53 schools located in Japan, Korea, and Guam. I've worked successfully for many years with committees at the school and community levels, but also with committees of regional and national organizations. Since retirement 4 years ago, I've attended classes at Aurora Community College, completed a 3-month intensive Japanese language program in Okazaki, Japan, and since I lived abroad for 30 years before retiring here to Colorado, I've been recently, and since I arrived, working very hard to go native in my native land. During the last 2 years, I've also spent a great deal of time learning about homeowners associations, their history, their reason for existence, and the challenges facing homeowners associations. And I've been able to spend a great deal of time reading and studying the existing declaration, the proposed declaration, the bylaws of Heather Gardens, the Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act, as well as other sources to gain knowledge about how HOAs operate. As a director, I'll bring a number of perspectives, values, and skills to the board. First, I support the American value of separation of powers in government. At the federal and state level, and even the city level, this means a system of checks and balances between legislative, executive, and judicial branches of government. No such separation of power exists, or even could exist, in a small, local homeowners association. I would, however, and echoing the comments of a previous speaker, advocate for the development and implementation of an out-of-court dispute resolution process so that disputes could be handled and resolved without resort to expensive court trials. I have skills and experience in the identification and correction of systemic problems and processes, which often lead to inefficiency, unwise spending, poor communication, and the creation of divisiveness rather than unity in a community. I support the concept of data-driven decision-making, but decisions made on the basis of data are only as good as the data that's collected. My skills in assessment development, including survey development and data analysis and interpretation, could increase the quality of decisions made by the board. I will advocate also, when appropriate, for the preservation of owner rights and powers. A basic value of American democracy is to limit the power of government to those powers expressly given to the government by the people, and I will support that value within our local association. Thank you.